Right. Now, I've known you for a long time, and I've always seen you as a consummate networker and a really good deal maker. Those are two skills that I've seen you really, really use. What tips can you offer filmmakers who are watching about networking and about tough negotiations? I'll put it into context. I remember it must be 10 years ago. You bought an Avid. And
you're still hurting.
No. I just remember being party to the negotiations. And it happened. It took a whole day to negotiate the price.
Yes, it did.
And
I've only just got rid of that, Avid.
Really? But I would have buckled, about 5 hours or 6 hours before you did, and you made a significant difference, and that was a big learning lesson for me in terms of negotiation skills.
Yes.
Which is don't close the communication, don't close the conversation, keep it open, but just stand firm.
Well, yes, I don't know what to say about that really, apart from I'm a bit of an old bugger. I think, yes, listen, it's been said before, and I'm sure it will say again, I think sometimes it can work for you, and to be honest, sometimes it can work against. And I think perhaps I can, there's a thin line between cheeky and rude. And I think filmmakers, every filmmaker viewing this now will at their best will be cheeky, and they'll be doing nice deals all the time, and they'll be making things happen, and that is, that's how you do stuff, and I think it turns bad or goes to the dark side when you're pushing too hard and making people uncomfortable. I think the trick is to take people with you and make it a positive, enjoyable experience, and so that you can do business in the future. And I've done it right sometimes, and I've done it wrong sometimes, but I think for the most part it's benefited me.
Let's just talk about before we get to the final part of the conversation, with Beyond the Pole, what you took to Greenland as a script, what you shot, did it improvise, and then did it change in post-production again radically or slightly? What was the story journey of the story?
Well, the script was worked on for a very long time by a guy called Neil Borehurst, who wrote this was based on a Radio 4 series, a kind of cult hit. And it was very funny and very silly, and created a world that was quite unbelievable, but nevertheless very, very charming. And I was in love with it. I thought it would and I also thought, to be perfectly honest, that it would be really easy to turn that into a feature film, because it was all there. That it was 6 15-minute episodes, 6 times 15, 90 minutes, got a feature. And then I think over the next 4 years, I realised why the BBC hadn't optioned it. Because we had to ditch all the things that we loved, because the things that were so strong and wonderful about the radio series were death and destruction to a cinema feature, and the kind of golden test for the script was, for me, was it believable? Because if it wasn't believable, I kind of felt that the comedy immediately fell down for me in the cinema. So it was very interesting working with the writer, who he'd been praised to the hill, and I had praised everything to the heavens. Having to convince him and carry him with me that the way I wanted to go was for the best for the project. And there were lots of ups and downs in that, but one of the things I'm proudest about is that I still have a very strong and good relationship with the writer, and we're great friends. And I think now we look at it and had great fun editing it together and shaping it again, and are looking forward to working with each other again. Now that's something to relationships are important. Just like I was looking at you, watching you with Genevieve there, and it's a wonderful thing when people have managed to overcome adversity over years and years, and all those challenges that you'll have faced together, and you remain friends. That's it's to be cherished, because you won't always have money, so it's important protect the people who are who you respect and who you're friends with. But to answer your to answer, am I going on?
No.
Does that nervous laugh mean shut up? I'm happy to shut up. I'll shut up. You want me to shut up?
Answer. Yeah.
Improvisation.
Yeah.
No, listen, with comedy, what we got was we had Stephen Mangan, who's a wonderful actor from you'll know him from Green Wing and Free Agents and Confetti. Fantastic, top of his game, jewel in the English crown of comedy actor. So we got him in our lead, and his partner is Rhys Thomas, who you might have seen on Bellamy's People. And we put them together, and they were just magic. Everything that I wanted them to be. So the kind of the way I worked and the position I was able to work in as director and producer, and not the main writer, but I was a co-writer. So on set, I could be reasonably free and say, listen, I trust you, you trust me, this is the script, this is what's important in the scene, now go, make it your own, and I'll cover it, and we'll see where we go. And on the ice at -20, with them floating off into the Arctic Circle, they were incredible, and they made the script come alive and brought new things to it. Now, when we got back to the edit suite, lots of those things that were great, we did actually have to put to one side, but because we started off with a script that was very strong and tight. However, I think what we got most of was a freshness, and where we just went a little bit off piste, but the script just pings along, and their performances are so naturalistic, and I think that was possible because of being allowing them some freedom and some slack, and just trusting them to get on with it.